Hi, I'm Bet from BettesMakes, and today we're going to make a candle wrap. Now, you could do this out of cardstock or any other material you want. What we're going to do is create something that looks almost the same as what you see right in front of us here on our screen share. These are 3 witches we put together. So let's get started with this. I'm just going to start with a new project, and the first thing I want to do is I want to be able to measure what's going to go around my candle. Now, I don't know if you can see much of this, but this is the candle that I have, and I've measured it around, and it's almost 11 inches. It's about 10 3/4. So the piece of paper I'm going to use is going to be 11 inches around, and then I can decide how deep I want it to go. So I can go up to 6 inches on this particular candle. Let me just, because that'll take it right to the top. So I might just do a 4-inch wrap on this. So the first thing we want to do to make a candle wrap is we're going to start with our shape. And I'm going to unlock it. I'm just going to make it orange because it is going to be a Halloween theme. Now, with this shape, the width, I said I could go up to approximately 11 inches. So I'm just going to make it 11, maybe 0.25. And as far as the depth goes, because I have a 6-inch candle, I can make it go all the way to the top. Now, this is not a candle you burn. This is the electric type candle. So I'm thinking I am going to make it a 6-inch tall, and then I'm going to lock it. I'm going to lock it at the top here and just make sure it's locked. Yes, it is. Now, while we're doing this, I am going to save this, and I'm going to make it an October make, and it's going to be a witch candle wrap. Now, you could do this in a type of vinyl if you wanted to do so, because that way it will stick to the candle and you won't have to glue the edges together. Now, I'm not going to mark where I'm going to glue because I could make it tighter or narrower. But the easy part now is to go out and to find some images you want to cut out and have shine through. So there are a couple of places that we can go. Canva or Pixabay would be a great place. So I am going to open up a new tab here, and we're going to go to Pixabay, and I'm just going to show you a couple of things here. And let me just change my share to my other screen, and there it is right there, and share it. Now, what I want here are not images per se, but I want sort of illustrations. I think those would be better. And I want witches. You could use ghosts or anything else that you wanted. Now, the ones at the top here are paid, so you have to be watch out for that. That is sponsored. But down here, I can pick on a couple of things. Silhouettes are particularly what I want. Don't want too much detail at the end because our machine is going to have to cut it all out. And I'm also looking for ones that do not have enclosed spaces, such as the Halloween here. But I do want things that can be cut and then just placed on it as one image. Now, this one looks pretty good. Now, that is a free download. So I'm just going to download it, and it's going to ask me, and I think I'll just use a PNG file. That's all I need. So I'm going to get that one to download, and I think I can log in with that one. And it wants to know the ones with the lights. Is that what? Traffic lights? That's the only 2 I really see. Oh, I guess there's one here. Verify. Okay, so it's going to allow me to download that witch. Now, I might decide that I want to use another one as well. So let's go back up here and let's type in witch again. See what else we can add to our candle, because that'll be one image on one side, but you probably want some images on the other side as well. Could do a cauldron. There's some baby witches. We could use another type of witch, but that's got too many ragged edges. So what we're looking for is something that's quite smooth that can be cut out as a silhouette. Now, those are vector images. So let's see if we can, instead of vector graphics, we can do illustrations, see if we get a few more that way. We've got a few here that, you know, could be added to it, but you just have to watch what's going to be cut out. We have a few with some cats here. But I just want silhouettes, something that are very easy and not much has to happen. Well, we can use that same one witch. I think I'll use the one witch, and maybe I'll try a cat up here and see what else we can find. Remember, this is Pixabay. Now, remember, it is just a silhouette. We want a single silhouette. Now, here's a nice one right here. I think I will download that one as well. And we're going to free download. We want a PNG file. Yeah, I guess I want it pretty small. So I'm going to download that. So I've got a witch and a cat. We could do a couple of other things on here as well. So let's go back up to our graphics here. I'm going for illustrations. What else? Maybe a pumpkin. See what we get for pumpkins. Well, once again, we just want silhouettes, things that can be cut out in little pieces. So the little eyes here won't work because that's not exactly what we need to do here. And that won't work either. Maybe a ghost would be a little better. Or we can just stick with the two images we have and repeat them. I think I'll stick with the two. So let's go back to our design space. I'm going to click on upload now, and I'm going to upload some images. I'm going to browse, see where they are. They will be in my downloads folder. So there's the cat. I will open that one. And it's simple. It's just black and white. And continue. And we want a print then cut. And that's good. Now we'll get the witch. And there's our witch. Open that one, make it simple, bring it in. That's huge. And click continue on that one. We want print then cut image. And there we go. So now I'm going to bring these two, whoops, not that one, this one. These two in onto our canvas. And they look pretty big. Okay, so let's just pick on these guys one at a time. So the cat will fit on there quite nicely. The witch looks a little big, so let me find out where her adjustments are here. So maybe this is all we want to have on our, I'm just gonna make it a little bit smaller, because all this is going to do is cut out. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So I could change this, but I'm going to select the cat and select the witch using shift click. I'm going to weld them together so they become one piece. Perfect. Now, all I need to do now is highlight both of these, and I'm going to click on slice. So I can take these ones and delete them, and you'll see how it's sliced out underneath here. I could use that for something else, but I'm just going to delete it. So this is our candle wrap, and that's basically all there is to it. So we're going to go ahead and save this. I already have saved it. I'm going to save it again. Save. Perfect. Click on the check mark here. Don't have to wait for it to go away. I am going to click on Make It. And it's going to be on the mat. So it's only going to take one piece of about 6.5 inches. So I could put a full sheet of paper on here, and it's going to about 11.5. That is absolutely perfect. There's not much else I have to do. And it's going to connect. And then I will pick my paper type. And I'm going to use a medium cardstock for this one. So all I need is my knife. It's okay. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to stop the share. Now I've just picked a black piece of cardstock, pretty small piece, and I'm just going to add it to my mat. And my mat right here. And I'll just back this up just a second so that I can get my mat up here. As I said, I'm not going to cut out a piece of paper specifically for it. I'm just going to let it cut out, and then I will use this scrap. I'm going to use a brayer tool to hold it down so that it cuts perfectly. Sometimes if your paper doesn't hold to the mat, it won't cut the way you want it to. So let me just pull this back here a bit so I've got room in behind. All right, I'm just going to load my mat. It will tell us it's loading the mat. Okay, it is ready for us to unload the material. Let's place it underneath here. And it's going to tell us that we have to finish our particular item. So I'm just going to click on finish and turn off my machine. I'm just going to shut the lid and move it to the back so we have some room to work. And what I'm going to do now is turn the mat over and then just peel everything off. This way I'm not getting, everything's not going to curl up by rolling the mat off the paper. There we go. Now I have a couple of extra little artifacts here, and they won't make any difference whatsoever to what we're doing. Just grab them off my mat. Okay, let's protect our mat and put it away. All right, now we're going to start working with our candle wrap. Now here's the interesting part is when we cut this one out, is that now I have a black cat that I can use for another project. I don't have to throw that out. And the same thing with the witch. So this little project can add to a couple more things so you can decorate something else with it. And that leaves us with our witch and our cat. So we can decide how we're going to put this together. So I use 6 inches. And what I want to do basically is just glue the pieces down as I roll through. Now, because this is a different type of surface, I'm not 100% certain that my glue is going to work. However, I'm going to give it a shot just to see what happens here. Just put it down the edge like this. And we'll get it going here at least. Gummy. Just a different kind of surface. Make sure we get it straight because I am going to roll it around just to make sure. Not quite got it perfectly straight. When I roll it right around, I see that I am going to have a little extra on the outside edge, but it is working the way I want it to. Okay, perfect. So now we have to take a look at what edges are we going to be working with here in order to glue. Well, obviously we want the tail to glue in, and anything that's really sticking out is going to need to have a little glue attached to it. Rub this off. So cat head. So some of these little extra pieces, we can add some extra glue later if we need to. And I'm thinking I'm going to want to trim this a little bit because it looked like it was just a little too long. Okay, so I've got my glue on there. It is tacky glue, so I'm not in a hurry, but I am going to trim a little piece off the edge here because it looked just a little bit too long. Okay, so now let's see if we can get this rolled on exactly the way we want it. It is tacky, so I am going to be able to just roll it through like this. Perfect. So I may have to hold it in place until it dries. Oh, looking really good here. Slightly off right there. Just move it into position. Pull it up a little bit. There we go. And you'll be able to see places where you want to add extra glue, such as this piece that's poking out. We have a few of these ones, which I'm going to have to hold into place. This is such an easy project to do. Now I'm going to have a few more things that are sticking out here, but remember that this glue dries clear, so not to worry too much. A few little pieces in here that need to be stuck. Maybe this one as well. Okay. Remember, it does dry clear, so not to worry if you get some smeared. This one's going to be harder than the others. Wow, that looks amazing. Now I know I'm going to have to add some glue here because I didn't add any. Just turn this around. Go. Here as well. Okay, now I could hold it together, get my hands all mucky here, but I could take a little bit of parchment paper and just hold it in place because it won't glue to the parchment paper. Just hold it down that way. Oh, this is a great project. It's so easy to put together. And it's just a matter of deciding on the designs. This one had a couple little cutout pieces, but it's not going to make any difference when you see it on the candle. And when this dries, you're not going to see any of the glue whatsoever. And I know we have the light on, so I'm just going to turn this on. And you should be able to see it glow right through. I will just turn our overhead light off and see if you can see it glowing through. See the cat on that side, and then, of course, the witch on that side. This is such a fun project. I really hope you enjoyed making this. And like I said, you could use some vinyl. I just used cardstock and a little tacky glue, and it turned out just beautifully. So until next time, happy crafting.